Formula One is really cool. They have the coolest cars. They have all the most coolest tracks. They have their own video game series, which has been going for like who knows how many years. They have their own TV series on Netflix. And now they have their own movie starring Brad Pitt. They have the best action. Thank goodness it's safer. And what about the drivers? I decided to have a look back and see if I could find the coolest driver of each decade in Formula One, but post-war only, because the first real World Championship race was held in 1950 and was won by this man, Nino Farina, so he gets an honorable mention. Yeah, the 1950s, they seemed pretty cool. The drivers smoked cigarettes while they were sort of in their cars. I think the coolest dude of the 50s was this man, Juan Manuel Fangio. And you could tell just by the way people talk about Fangio, and his peers of the time spoke about him, that Fangio was a pretty cool guy. Not only was he just this awesome driver, he won 5 world championships, but he had cool glasses too. And perhaps the coolest thing about Fangio happened at the Cuban Grand Prix of '58 when he was kidnapped by 2 gunmen of Fidel Castro's 26th of July movement. And he was taken to a hotel, and he just played it cool. He was released after 29 hours, and he said it was like an adventure. And he was being treated very well. So they just kidnapped him to sort of have him not race, but yeah, sounds like he was kidnapped by 2 gunmen and he just played it cool and ended up partying for 29 hours. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Sounds like something the Rolling Stones or The Who may have gotten up to a bit later. Jimmy Clark. Well, of course he's cool. He's Scottish. But this is another guy who, like we were saying earlier about Fangio, go back and look at how people spoke about Jimmy Clark. Not just about his driving and how quick he was and how brilliant he was, but just the kind of man he was as well. And you'll see that Jimmy Clark was a pretty cool guy. Yes, Jimmy Clark at the Indy 500. Yeah, he didn't just compete in Formula One. He won the Indy 500 as well. Just, for fun. He used to drive touring cars as well. Lotus Cosworth. Fantastic. In 1965, Jim Clark won the Tasman Series, which is like a Formula One in Australia, New Zealand. He won the French Formula 2 World Championship and the British Formula 2 Championship, all along with his Formula One World Championship. 4 championships in 1 year. That's pretty cool. That's pretty damn cool. When it comes to Grand Slams, or Grand Chelems as they were called, he holds a record, still to this day. He in fact has 4 Grand Slams in 4 consecutive seasons, which is pretty damn amazing. He also still has the highest percentage of laps led in his career. So yeah, and all of that, I think, makes Jimmy Clark pretty damn cool. The 1970s and a new era. Extremely deadly era, where the drivers kind of just had to be cool, and all of them were, but none were cooler than James Hunt. Known as Hunt the Shunt when he first started, driving for the Hesketh team, who were basically a bunch of party guys who were just sort of hanging around with girls and models and But between oysters and champagne, James Hunt started to win. Yes, even in a Hesketh, James Hunt managed to win and actually beat Niki Lauda. Movies have been made about James Hunt and Niki Lauda's rivalry. Thor, they had to get Thor to play James Hunt. That shows you how cool he was. Married to a supermodel, 1976 world champion with McLaren.
Had you any idea that the car might be thrown out?
Well, yeah, about an hour afterwards they told us that there was a problem.
I meant before.
No, I don't know. I just drive the damn thing.
Well, then what are your tactics going to be tomorrow?
Cheat at the start.
Now, just a minute, I haven't done my hair yet. I'm not ready to go on the telly.
James Hunt had everything. He later went on to be a pretty cool commentator as well, one of the greatest of all times, with gems like this.
And Jarier really is completely out of order. I mean, he really shouldn't be allowed to drive in Grand Prix racing. He is, he's got a mental age of 10 in the first place, and that was absolutely disgraceful for a driver of his experience. And I would think that the authorities have really got to look at driving like that and do something about it, because he should certainly have a short suspension.
Who says the reason I'm going so slow these days is that I'm used to turbo cars, and these normally aspirated engine cars are a very different kettle of fish to drive, he says.
And all I can say to that is bullshit.
The 80s. My favorite decade of Formula One, if I had to pick one. And this guy, do any of you know who this is? I've not gone for a famous guy here, but look at what's in his ear over here. This is Christian Danner, the first Grand Prix driver to ever wear an earring. And I can tell you about Christian Danner, but you probably won't believe me, so I'll just let Clive James explain why he's the coolest of the 80s.
His teammate Christian Danner, first Grand Prix driver to wear an earring, was much adored by women, who would get plenty of chances to look at him if the Osella maintained its track record of going nowhere and not very fast. Yet even if the whole Grand Prix circus ran out of gas, Christian Danner would never run out of girls. The other big story was Christian Danner's block move to Arrows, where Shearer's seat had become empty after a bad rally accident. Osella didn't want to let Danner go. There was a lot of strained laughter on the subject, but it was a change for Danner to be torn limb from limb by men. His way at last cleared to join the Arrows team, Christian Danner posed for rare footage showing him unaccompanied by females. Girl photographers who had been told there was a chance of meeting Christian Danner came from all over Europe. Hungarian radio had been telling the girls that there was a chance of fraternizing with Christian Danner. They came flocking in from the potato factories. I had hoped that these two were my fans, but it turned out they had mistaken me for Christian Danner. And in Danner's case, to meet a lot of pretty girls.
Senna. Yeah, you know, Senna probably was the coolest driver of the 80s as well, but I had to just put Christian Danner in there for a laugh. Well, Senna was just the greatest. He was just the best. He is just brilliant. And again, another guy, beloved in Brazil. The guy is like a saint. His charity work, his work with children, everything he did off the track away from Formula One was just awesome. And then, of course, there's the lap of the gods that he's famous for in the 90s. This is Donington 93 in the wet.
Prost leads, Hill second, Wendlinger is third, and Ayrton Senna is up to fourth position ahead of Schumacher and challenging Wendlinger as they go round the right-hander into the old hairpin. Senna is up to third. So two retirements already, Michael Andretti and Carl Wendlinger, and Senna goes through into the lead. He's passed Alain Prost.
Senna jet ski. This picture inspired David Hasselhoff to make Baywatch. Senna had pretty girls too. He used to take them out on his jet ski. Yes, despite rival Nelson Piquet spreading rumors about him, Senna did have some pretty girlfriends. You know, the coolest thing He flew radio-controlled airplanes, and that's awesome. Trust me, I fly radio-controlled airplanes and helicopters. It's cool. It's a lot of fun. Senna was pretty damn good at it as well, by the looks of things. He also had some magical quotes.
By being a racing driver means you are racing with other people. And if you no longer go for a gap that exists, you're no longer a racing driver.
Yeah, I wonder, as Senna here with his friend Gerhard Berger, I wonder what he would think of drivers today who just moan on the radio about, give him a penalty, I can't get past him, so give him a penalty. I suppose he would just have a smirk on his face like this and chuckle under his...
You missed the presentation by Pele.
Yeah.
Will you get over it?
Yeah, I was having a shit.
Okay, thanks for that.
Ladies and gentlemen, you don't get cooler than the Iceman. Of course, the coolest driver of the 2000s is Kimi Räikkönen.
Have you ever had to take the train to work?
No.
Do you have to wear a suit for your job?
No.
Do you ever have to fix a photocopier?
A what?
A photocopier.
What is the photocopier?
I don't know.
That is my favorite ad of all time. Really. Monaco. Kimi's McLaren had overheated. He pulled it over to the opposite side of the track because he didn't want to go back to the pits. It's classic, this from Kimi. This is just who Kimi is. Oh, well, I'm out of the race. I may as well go enjoy myself. He disappeared into the bushes. And he emerged just walking nowhere near back towards the pits, and the commentators were like, oh, look at Kimi, he's going totally the wrong way. He's going to have a really long walk to get back to the pits. It was Monte Carlo, and such a boring race. I mean, yeah, watching Kimi walk around was more interesting than actually watching the race, which there you can see the race going past with a safety car. Yeah, Monaco. Anyways, it turned out Kimi, he just went back to his boat, got into his swimming costume and a glass of the bubbly, chilled and relaxed, and watched the rest of the race from there.
He's with some of his best mates from Finland who've consumed their own weight in champagne and beer while he's been off the pot.
The final word. Is your hunger for a second title the same as your hunger was for a first?
Yes, Kimi had been away, but in the 2010s he did come back. And one of the things about the 2010s is now we had the awesome team radio.
Is it on now? Okay, I'm not.
We forgot to connect, Jimmy. You will not have the drink, sorry.
Is it on or not? The drink?
No, Jimmy. No, you will not have the...
No, it's a switch on or not.
We're currently under threat from Michael behind. We need to get past Hulkenberg.
I know what I'm doing, so be quiet.
For weekend.
Nice to meet you.
Kimi also met the pretty ladies, but Kimi, he just shrugged it off. Famous actress. He just shrugged it off like a legend.
I know it's a pain, but is there any way you can take your glasses off?
No. You better do it quickly, otherwise I go inside, so.
Right, okay.
Kimi, what happened?
I spun.
And a bit of a disaster then for you and for a few others with the yellow flags.
I don't care what happened to the others.
Did you have any temptation to go to drive the simulator to get better settings for you?
No.
Wait, I want to ask Kimi a question. Can I ask him a question? Kimi, is there any driver that's cooler than you ever?
No.
Okay, it's pretty clear.
So I
do the countdown, and then, if you like, to smile. 3, 2, 1. Thanks a lot.
And you're still passionate about racing. The fire is still.
No,
very
I
much
don't.
there.
I'm not actually. You know, I'm just by pure head games for you guys. I happened to sign. I'm not gonna spend 2 years there. Just not be happy about that. Yeah.
Yes, in 2020, Kimi was back, and this time in the coolest car of all, an Alfa Romeo. Yes, Kimi in an Alfa, and he was pretty damn good in this Alfa as well. Given the current crop of Formula One drivers, I don't know that we're going to get anyone cooler than in the 2020s than Kimi Raikkonen. I think we'll be hard pressed.
But box. Down. Hey, stop! Late now! Say. Copy. Okay. No way, that was a good thing to come in.
Okay, it's okay, Kimi. Okay, Kimi, that's the checkered flag. Well done. I think it's the best we could do today. You did a good race.
Yeah, one thing. Again, the Frank part came loose from the formation and it's been behind my back the whole race. That I don't know how it's been so difficult to put it connected correctly.
Well, there you go. Some cool drivers from each decade. Well, that's my silly opinion. That doesn't really matter. But oh well, at least we had a laugh today. Let me know who you guys think is the coolest driver in Formula One right now, and if he's cooler than Kimi. Until the next one, guys. Have a good time all the time. Cheers.